Hi, it's Antonio. So let's talk about sharing these skills of empathic listening, empathic understanding, compassionate communication. Um, Sometimes we learn this as nonviolent communication. It's really just the skills, as I like to say, of self connection, deep understanding, and listening. So, how do we teach this to other people? People that are really important in our lives, whether that be family, friends, colleagues, your close circle of connections. And I really want to be clear. I find these skills to really make a difference. I think with those people that I'm really close to, and being able to share this with those close connections is very important. Um, so let's talk about this. How do we share this? How do we teach other people these skills? I remember when I learned this. Um, when I learned about these skills, I really wanted, my family, my friends to really also share in this awareness and this consciousness, maybe even in this communication. And the thing is, one of the things to really, I think, have a perspective of is that this is really hard work. Being able to think, to practice, um, focusing on our needs, being in connection with our feelings. This is challenging work. So, and I know that I imagine for you, this has been hard to learn to practice. I know I can say that for myself, and so I really want to have that perspective when thinking of sharing this with other people. Because if this is really hard for you to practice and to learn, to understand, it's going to be very hard and sometimes impossible for others to learn it, especially if they don't want to communicate in this way. Why I do NVC and why I practice empathic listening, right? Being aware of needs is because I want to experience more connection in my life. And so these skills give me the ability to do that. It doesn't always mean and it doesn't always translate into other people sharing in this consciousness and this awareness and this way of thinking and being. So that I think is very important to have a perspective of. This is hard work. And sometimes for other people, it's going to be very hard work, especially if they're not interested in this. Um, so, how do we still, how do we still bring this to those people that we want to share this with? And I think the best thing that I have found over the years of 10 years of practice of learning and practicing and sharing NVC with people is that the best way to bring this to my close circles is to model the work. In fact, I'm going to take a quote from Marshall Rosenberg when he used to say at his workshops, uh, lend lending our consciousness. What does lending our consciousness mean? What does it look like? It's really about sharing and this curiosity of feelings and needs with other people. And that's by choice. I don't do that because I think I have to or because I think it's the right thing. It's because something, I'm inspired to want to help someone in their curiosity to connect to themselves. And so for example, let's take maybe a few examples of what this might look like. If I'm having a conversation with a friend and they say, I feel really abandoned and ignored. I was trying to talk to this person and they didn't care about me and they didn't want to show up for me. So, um, what do I do? How do I respond as a practitioner in a place like that? Well, look, one of the things that I for myself find um, is that there are different ways to communicate this practice. And in fact, I kind of like to think that a big part of our practice that we're doing and that we're working on and developing is our empathy posture of how we can connect to other people, how we can empathically connect to them. So, in a case of what I just gave an example of, I might internally, without using any words, really connect to what's going on for my friend and empathically understand that they're in pain. Um, they're really frustrated. Maybe they're upset. Maybe they're sad about what happened in this case. Even if that happened with me, even if my friend says, I just feel really ignored by you, right? Maybe there might be opportunities in which I lend my consciousness by using words. And I might say, I imagine you're really frustrated and upset. This really sucks. You really would have loved for somebody to have been there to show up for you, to help you out. And so lending our consciousness is a big part of how we get to bring this to the circles around us, of how we get to share these skills with other people. In my own personal life, I want to let you know that I have not taught, I have not sat the people down in my life, whether that be family or friends, and said, hey, let me teach you about this. I will say that the connections in my life that are very near and dear to my heart, some of them have changed. And it hasn't been because those people have taken an NVC course, but it's been because I really wanted to change the dynamic in those relationships. And so I started changing how I was communicating first and foremost with myself, how I was relating to myself, right? And I started relating more to myself as a person with needs. And then being able to bring that out and expanding that to the circle around me, to those people who I really care about. And that, for me, was what was the turning point. It wasn't me trying to teach those people around me, because I tried and it wasn't great results. But being able to model this and share what's going on for me with other people, that really was a turning point. So, so I think the way that we can be able to do this, how do we model it? By continuing to practice, by consistently connecting to our feelings and needs. I think that that's a much more authentic and genuine way to bring this work to those people around us. So I hope that this was helpful. Please like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you around. Thanks.